Welcome back to English Edition. My name is Nicole King, and it's a pleasure to be here at Radio Television Marbella Studios to bring you an update on local news from our town hall. Lots of different projects, investments and events. And then we'll be welcoming into the studio to local international residents to find out what they do. And I know this week, particularly, they're both going to be of much interest to everyone. Anyway, let's start off with some local news. Marbella has once again hosted one of the summer's most glamorous events. The Global Gift Foundation held its annual charity gala, bringing together well-known personalities from Spain and around the world in support of the organisation, founded by María Bravo 13 years ago. Glamour and generosity once again went hand in hand at one of the biggest events of the year, the Global Gift Gala, which celebrated its 15th anniversary. The founder of the Global Gift Foundation, María Bravo, together with actress and activist Eva Longoria, who was the guest of honour, welcomed guests to the Lucía Marbella Beach Club at the Don Carlos Hotel.
15 años llevamos, esta es la 15 fiesta de Global Gift aquí en Marbella, y felices.
One of the stars of the evening was Mexican singer Carlos Rivera, who received the Humanitarian Award in recognition of his social commitment. Many well-known faces turned out to support the cause and enjoy a magical evening. Former footballer Bernd Schuster, designer Vicky Martin Berrocal, actress Barbara Ray, Beatrice Orleans and actor Diego Boneta were just some of the many guests who supported the foundation and shared a warm and memorable evening. Entertainment was provided by Melody, Gracie and Begonia, while guests also had the chance to win a selection of exclusive prizes in the charity raffle.
Es importante que nos concienciemos en que tenemos que ayudar, que tenemos que unirnos y en los tiempos que corren más todavía, ¿no? Y es una gala muy bonita con un fin hermoso y yo me siento muy orgullosa de poder estar aquí y poner mi granito de arena.
Para ayudar a los niños y bueno, siempre estoy dispuesta. Y en Marbella pues siempre feliz porque es mi segunda tierra.
Pues gracias por la invitación a Global Gift con una pieza mía pues para que la donación sea interesante y que podamos ayudar a la causa.
Ayudar, colaborar, ver durante el año lo que se consigue con lo que has recaudado el año pasado y con muchísimas ganas de seguir recaudando dinero porque ves dónde llega y ves lo que ayuda.
The money raised will go towards providing emergency aid for Venezuela through Father Angel, supporting Casa Angeles Vietnam, which helps vulnerable children, and of course, continuing the work of Casa Angeles Marbella.
Una casa que tiene esos programas pioneros, además para apoyo de los más pequeños, esos pequeños con necesidades especiales de apoyo a la familia, de lo que nosotros nos sentimos muy orgullosos de tenerlo en Marbella.
Young Málaga designer Laura Ortiz has won the Future of Design Málaga de Moda 2026 award, presented by the Provincial Council to promote and support emerging talent in the world of fashion design. The winner was announced during the final day of the 9th Marbella Fashion Show. Marbella Town Hall and the Andalusian Regional Government collaborated on the event, which brought together around 20 national and international fashion brands and designers.
Gente muy buena, suelen ser muy buenos y bueno, pues con mucha ilusión por llevarse ese premio. De hecho, el año pasado tenemos este año y desfila Teresa Perujo, que es quien ganó el año pasado el concurso de los diseñadores.
Alrededor del mundo de la moda se mueve muchísima economía, ¿no? Entonces, y empleo. Queremos que ese talento no se vaya, que venga aquí a Andalucía, que lo podamos poner de manifiesto.
Design, creativity and entrepreneurship took centre stage along the pink catwalk that transformed Avenida Lola Flores into a spectacular showcase of glamour. The 9th Marbella Fashion Show also attracted large crowds, making it another great success.
Vamos a ver unos diseños de alta costura, otros más casual, de prêt-à-porter, también así como de tarde, como la ropa de Starlight.
Together with the organising company, Marbella Town Hall also supported the event, which featured around 20 fashion brands and designers. Visitors were also able to enjoy an exhibition area showcasing brands, artisans and businesses from across the fashion industry.
Donde vemos grandes diseñadores tanto nacionales como internacionales con unos vestidos y unos diseños fantásticos, una maravilla, y bueno, es un lugar referente ya y un encuentro habitual, como digo, en cada verano.
Esteban Freire, the Vigo-born designer who is now based in Marbella, presented his latest menswear collection on the catwalk.
Se llama la colección Marbella 5.0, es ropa de hombre. Y bueno, es una colección muy fresca, con telas de la diseñadora Sandra Mahón, que hemos hablado, y bueno, una colección muy de calle.
The audience also enjoyed the creations of María Bravo, featuring elegant occasion wear and bridal gowns.
En esta ocasión los vestidos que he traído han sido para Marbella, bojos. Me encantan los vestidos bojos y creo que era el momento y la ocasión para poderlos lucir aquí en Marbella.
Luxury, sustainable fashion with an oriental influence also took to the runway.
Castanes, un estilo árabe, y la estrella de Nazma, que se estrena aquí en esta pasarela y lleva brillantes de manera sostenible por la empresa Hostal Jebel de Milano.
The 2 evenings of fashion were also accompanied by live music and excellent gastronomy. A team of firefighters from Marbella has travelled to Avila to help tackle the wildfires affecting the region. Together with colleagues from the Málaga Provincial Fire Consortium, they will work alongside the Military Emergency Unit, once again demonstrating the spirit of solidarity between different parts of Spain.
Mucha suerte, estaremos pendientes vuestra, cualquier cosa que necesitéis nos llamáis y espero que esté todo programado, a las 11 vaya Antequera, ¿no? De ahí salir, ¿no?
Marbella Fire Station has been mobilised following a request for assistance from Avila Provincial Council, who contacted Málaga Provincial Council for support. The deployment has been coordinated through the Málaga Provincial Fire Consortium and consists of 11 firefighters, 5 of whom are from the Marbella Fire Service.
El consorcio lleva una bomba rural pesada y una nodriza y un vehículo ligero, y nosotros una bomba rural y un vehículo ligero para tener movilidad por la zona también.
The length of the deployment has not yet been determined. It will depend on the needs of the authorities in Avila, while ensuring that sufficient resources remain available to respond to any emergencies in Marbella.
Lo que quería destacar sobre todo es por la respuesta tan rápida que tienen nuestros bomberos ante cualquier emergencia. No solamente son capaces de sacrificar sus vacaciones, su tiempo de descanso y su familia para atender cualquier emergencia fuera de Marbella, sino también ahora, no solo los que van, sino los que se quedan, que tienen que redoblar esfuerzos para cubrir a los que se van y no comprometer en ningún momento la seguridad de nuestra ciudad en una temporada tan complicada como la de ahora.
The team will work in coordination with the officers leading the operation in Avila. Their priorities will be to strengthen firefighting efforts, protect populated areas, provide logistical support and help safeguard key infrastructure.
Nosotros lo que vamos a aportar es todo lo que podamos, nuestra experiencia, nuestro saber, nuestros materiales y claro, nos vamos a poner a disposición de las autoridades locales y en función de las necesidades que tengan, pues así iremos trabajando.
In just a couple of weeks, work will be completed on Marbella's Congress Centre, transforming it into a sustainable and energy-efficient building. We've been taking a look at how the project is progressing. After 10 months of work, the sustainable refurbishment, energy efficiency upgrade and climate adaptation of the Adolfo Suárez Congress Centre will be completed in just a couple of weeks. The project, led by Marbella Town Hall, represents an investment of almost €2.5 million and forms part of the Sustainable Tourism Destination Plan, financed through European funds.
Los trabajos que se están realizando ahora mismo es la colocación de cerca de 500 placas que darán luz no solo al Palacio de Congresos, sino también a equipamientos del entorno. Y bueno, una obra importante que hemos acometido en este Palacio de Congresos, como ha sido la mejora en cuanto a la climatización y a la calefacción, mejoras importantísimas también en el estado térmico del edificio, ya que se han hecho mejoras en todo lo que es los cerramientos del palacio y mejoras también en la eficiencia energética de toda la iluminación del palacio.
One of the most innovative features of the project is the installation of a rainwater harvesting system, allowing rainwater to be collected and reused.
Puntuó realmente alto en las subvenciones europeas de las que viene este crédito, era también la incorporación de todo el agua que recoge la cubierta, canalizarla hasta una serie de depósitos que está justo en la parte delantera del Palacio de Congreso, y esa agua se reutiliza para todo lo que son los jardines del municipio, digamos, todos los jardines que están alrededor del Palacio de Congreso cuando hay falta de agua. Por lo tanto, es una novedad también. Estamos hablando de que el edificio es totalmente eficiente, se autoconsume con lo que va generando, ya no solo la energía eléctrica a través de las placas solares, sino también el agua.
This has been a complex project involving the complete transformation of the building without interrupting its day-to-day operations. Throughout the works, the venue has remained open, successfully combining construction with the hosting of events. Sometimes it's the smallest improvements that make the biggest difference to people's daily lives. A good example can be found on Calle Salduba in the Plaza de Toros neighbourhood, where Marbella Town Hall has improved accessibility by building a new access ramp. Residents of several apartment buildings on Calle Salduba in the Plaza de Toros area now have a new ramp, making it much easier to enter and leave their homes.
Eliminando una escalera que daba acceso a una serie de edificios, una escalera muy pronunciada que complicaba mucho pues a las personas mayores poder acceder a su vivienda, pues que complicaba muchísimo a las madres que llevaban un carro o a las personas que iban con una silla de ruedas, complicaba muchísimo la vida y el día a día de cada una de las personas.
This accessibility project forms part of the city's ongoing conservation plan. The councillor explained that this is not an isolated initiative, but one of many being carried out across Marbella's different districts to address the legacy of urban planning that did not always prioritise people's needs. Marbella's East District has highlighted Calle Salduba as a clear example of this.
Muchos los edificios que existen en esta calle que no contaban con accesibilidad y que de forma progresiva se está dotando a estos edificios de rampa, y además hay que destacar que cumpliendo totalmente con esa normativa que permite que los vecinos y las vecinas puedan salir de su casa.
The Town Hall says that while this may seem like a small improvement, it will make everyday life more comfortable and accessible for local residents. Young Marbella rider Jesus Rios has appeared on the Verano Serrano programme to talk about his first season competing in the Moto3 World Championship. It hasn't been the easiest of starts, but he's determined to finish the season as the championship top rookie. Jesus Rios is currently enjoying his third week of the summer break, a well-earned rest halfway through his debut Moto3 season. Competing at the third tier of elite motorcycle racing has proved every bit as demanding as the young Marbella rider expected, although he is pleased with the progress he has made. His performance in the opening races was affected by the natural adaptation period, but in the last three events he has finished inside the top 10, including an impressive 5th place at the legendary Assen circuit in the Netherlands, where he climbed from 21st on the grid to run as high as 2nd during the race.
Yo al final quería ganar, ¿no? Pero es verdad que en ese momento no se podía, llevaba ya muchas vueltas tirando, tuve también un percance en la chicane, me la salté y tuve que reducir otra vez la velocidad un segundo, otra vez volver a remontar, estuvimos a puntito del podium, pero bueno, al final llegará. Eso ya lo sabemos, pero poco a poco.
Looking ahead to the rest of the season, Jesus has set himself an ambitious target to be named Rookie of the Year.
Intentaré de ganar alguna carrera y sobre todo hacer podiums, seguiré estando en la línea que estamos, que vamos muy bien, estamos progresando muy bien.
He admits that adapting to Moto3 has been challenging for a number of reasons.
La velocidad en el sentido de antes nosotros en el Film Junior, ahora lo han modificado, pero antes era jueves, viernes, sábado y domingo, y ahora es viernes por la mañana, que tienes el único entreno para aprenderte del circuito, y ya después viernes por la tarde es un entrenamiento cronometrado. Eso es lo que más cuesta en adaptarse. También los circuitos nuevos. Yo solamente me sé los de España y Misano, y ya todos los demás prácticamente son nuevos.
Now the focus is on staying calm and continuing to build on the hard work that's already gone into both rider and machine. Next Wednesday, the action resumes at one of the most iconic circuits in motorcycle racing, Silverstone in England. Charity events are in full swing across Marbella this summer. One taking place next week aims to raise funds for the non-government organisation Sin Fronteras. Infancia Sin Fronteras works in 8 countries, supporting more than 20,000 children. From the 7th to the 9th of August, the Nueva Alcántara Club will host the 11th edition of its charity paddle tournament in aid of this organisation.
Los fondos van a estar destinados a un proyecto de unos cerca de 300 niñas y niños en Níger, y creo que es un colectivo muy damnificado por una serie de circunstancias geopolíticas que acontecen en la zona y que necesitan nuestra ayuda inmediata.
Thanks to this initiative, around 300 children will have access to a quality education.
Y las inscripciones a través del propio club, que es muy asequible porque son 30 euros, que tenemos un welcome pack súper chulo y que es un torneo que tiene mucho éxito. Recordaros también que haremos un sorteo en la entrega de premios, que gracias a todos los patrocinadores y colaboradores podemos realizar cada año.
Registration remains open until midday on Thursday the 6th of August. The tournament will feature 4 men's categories, 3 women's categories, 4 mixed categories and 1 under 12 category.
Lo que sí creo que es importante destacar es el conjugar lo que es solidaridad con deporte a través del pádel, que estamos en el corazón del pádel, ¿no? Podríamos a nivel nacional, y eso realmente es muy importante. Y yo desde aquí apelo a los que todavía no se han inscrito.
There's no doubt that live music is one of the highlights of a warm summer evening. We're heading towards now the Paseo de las Palmeras in San Pedro Alcántara, where the maestro Ramón Mayen Band treated the public to a concert featuring a selection of well-known favourites. The Summer Concert Nights programme has returned for its 2nd edition. Organised by the San Pedro Alcántara Music Band, one of this year's performances took place on the Paseo de las Palmeras. Hosted by the maestro Ramón Mayen Band, with the support of the Deputy Mayor's Office, the audience enjoyed a varied programme of popular summer music.
Pasodobles clásicos como La Puerta Grande o Amparito Roca, canciones muy populares, música de los Beatles, de alguna sorpresa al final de Rafael, que nos gusta mucho.
The 42-piece band performed a total of 8 pieces, providing the perfect soundtrack for residents and visitors enjoying a summer evening in the heart of San Pedro.
Lujo, jugamos en casa y eso siempre se agradece. Más divertido.
Y lo que toca es disfrutar, porque aparte van a sorprender.
The concert ended with a tribute to one of Spain's most internationally celebrated artists, with a performance of Rafael's iconic song, Mi Gran Noche. San Pedro Alcántara has officially added the name of José Guerra Villalobos to one of its streets, honouring a man who pioneered the fight against drug addiction in the municipality, and a businessman who has always been willing to help those in need. José Guerra Villalobos is 72 years old and was just 19 when he opened his mechanical workshop in San Pedro. He has now spent more than 50 years at the helm of Guerra Motor. The town hall has chosen to name a street after him, not for his success in business, but in recognition of a lifetime dedicated to helping others. His commitment began in 1983 and has continued ever since.
Tu compromiso con la prevención de la drogodependencia, cuando él empezó, no era lo habitual, o con el acompañamiento de personas afectadas con el VIH, con otras tantísimas causas sociales, Esa ha sido tu constante durante muchos años. Más allá de esa labor, hay algo que también merece que destaquemos hoy aquí, y es la forma en la que lo has llevado a cabo, siempre con ese respeto y esa empatía hacia aquellos que peor lo estaban pasando.
Accompanied by family, friends and members of the local council, several speakers paid tribute to José. His son David said that his greatest legacy anyone can leave is simply to be a good person. The mayor highlighted José's willingness to help whenever he was needed. She also praised his role in founding the Parents Against Drugs Association, his involvement in establishing Hacienda de Toros and Concordia Antisida, as well as creating one of the province's first multidisciplinary centres dedicated to addiction support.
Hacía atención médica, tratamiento, desintoxicación, siempre que la persona se pudiera recuperar. Cuando la persona no se podía recuperar, lo que hacíamos es un programa de metadona. Aquí en San Pedro se instauró el primer programa de metadona porque llegamos a un acuerdo con el Servicio Andaluz de Salud.
José Guerra, who has also written and contributed to several books on addiction, used his speech to remember the many mothers who turned to him for help in trying to save their children. He also dedicated the recognition to someone he considers a fundamental pillar in his life, his brother, Manuel.
Dedicarle esta calle a mi hermano Manuel Guerra Villalobos, que yo estoy seguro que nos está viendo desde una pequeña parcela que Dios le tenía reservada en el cielo. Pues sin él tampoco fuera a lograr todo esto.
Marbella Town Hall has met with representatives of local neighbourhood associations that will benefit from this year's municipal grant programme. The funding helps these non-profit organisations continue the valuable work they do within their communities. The Mayor, Ángeles Muñoz, and the Councillor for Citizen Participation, Enrique Rodríguez, met with representatives from the 15 neighbourhood and civic groups selected to receive funding through the Town Hall's competitive grants programme.
Puedan tener acceso a partidas presupuestarias que le permitan pues hacer ellos el tema de formación o actividades que al final van dirigidos a los barrios, van dirigidos a los vecinos o a los colectivos y hacen que esas partidas presupuestarias que evidentemente tienen que tener un proyecto y tienen que tener un control a nivel económico por parte de la intervención, pues que pueda cada euro que se le dé que pueda llegar a todos los vecinos.
This year's public funding totals €100,000, which will be shared among the successful organisations for a range of community projects and activities.
La asociación se tiene que mover si quiere tener cubierto todo, ¿sabes? O nos dan es verdad que es un 70%, pero el otro 30% tenemos que movernos las asociaciones.
Un colchón buenísimo, buenísimo. Además nosotros tenemos nuestras fiestas populares para el Día de la Virgen del Pilar, les regalamos a las niñas que se presentan sus trajes de gitana, hacemos una chorizada popular gratuita y bueno, durante todo el año haciendo eventos.
The municipal grants will help strengthen community life across Marbella's neighbourhoods, encourage greater public participation and contribute towards day-to-day running costs, social educational workshops and other activities that benefit the local community. In my experience, Línea Directa is superb when it comes to insurance, particularly for expats. I have met the dedicated English-speaking team that answers our phone calls. Real people with real families who take pride in providing the best service. Whether it's for home insurance, car, motorbike, they will ensure you get the policy best suited to you. They've also got new policies, especially for our pets and anti-squatter. Everything is in English, everyone is friendly, and everyone is truly doing their best for us. Call 952 14 78 34 or go to their website lineadirector.com for further details.
Have you heard of Zero Hero? Well, I'll tell you. Zero Hero is a community initiative that rewards designated drivers with free soft drinks. Every single one of our venues gets special branding, including this sticker which has a QR code which will lead you straight to our website. The Zero Hero project is in collaboration with the Línea Directa Road Safety Foundation. So whether you're a customer who goes to wonderful restaurants or a restaurant who serves wonderful people, this is definitely something for you. Go to our zerohero.es website to find out more. Sometimes there are numbers that shape your life. Thousands of minutes putting in your contact lenses, hundreds of blurred memories, and many lost pairs of glasses. But there are also numbers that give you confidence. For more than 30 years at Baviera, we have performed 1 million treatments, 1 million reasons for a life without glasses. Baviera Ophthalmology Clinic.
And now it's time to welcome our first guest of the programme, someone very special and close to our hearts in the Marbella community. His name is Brian Piccolo. He is a couturier, entertainer and a big supporter of local charity. Brian, it's been years I've said, I really want to have you on the programme, so I feel like it's a big coup for me and a great honour. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nicole. In fact, I was quite surprised when you called me because it's, I think, last Christmas when we spoke last.
Exactly. You were performing, entertaining at the Age Concern
yeah.
Christmas lunch, and you were just absolutely, I want to say darling. It seems to fit in with your era, your ethos. You sing, you tell anecdotes about your very exciting life that you've met loads of, and probably met them, you've dressed them. There's something very special about clothes and how we feel in them. I don't think everyone knows that, but I'm definitely one of those people. How did you start in the industry?
Well, it's a long story, really. When I was 13, my mother had a piece of fabric, and I was the sort of child that was always making things with my hands, Meccano, anything. And I said to her one day, can I make you a blouse out of that piece of fabric? No pattern, nothing. So she said, don't be silly, of course you can't, she said. Well, I wouldn't give up, you know, I had to keep on, Mum, oh, please let me do it. So in the end, she'd do it. So I didn't have a pattern, nothing, and I cut it out how I thought it should be constructed and made it. And to her amazement, it fitted her. So, and I was 13, and that was 68 years ago. So by the time I'd left school in those days, which was 15, I was making all her friends' clothes, and my father wouldn't let me go to art college. So I went to work for the Inland Revenue, and whilst I was there, I used to make clothes for all the lady tax officers, but nobody knew. I was too embarrassed to tell people that I made clothes.
Such different times.
Different times. I mean, in those days, boys didn't do things like that, did they? So I used to say to all the lady tax officers, if you want anything making, my mother will make whatever you want. And but they were so gullible. They used to let me measure them, and I'd go home, you see, make these clothes, and sort of 2 or 3 days later take them back, and to their amazement, they fitted them. Well, in those days, the finish wasn't like it is now, because over the years, you get better and better and better. So even to this day, I don't use patterns. And everything I make is individual. So you let me make you something, Nicole, and it'll be special to you, the only one in the world. I think you should do that.
I would absolutely love that. I mean, I know that if I go travelling, you know, people laugh about women taking all their cases. It's not need a lot of clothes. You just don't know how you're going to feel in the morning.
That's right.
What kind of fabric do you want? What kind of personality?
That's right.
I don't know. It's different.
It's
and
all to do with the mood as well.
It is.
You know, you can be in a mood one day and something can look fabulous. You put it on the next day and you feel terrible. You know, I dress lots of stars and singers over here in Spain.
Tell us some of your anecdotes. Because you have so many little stories, especially because you've been so involved with the local community for so long. I mean, you've got you've got the tea.
Well, let me tell you something that I tell all my people when I do these talks all over the world. My youngest son is a barrister, and when he was called to the bar, he said to me one day, Dad, I'm going to Savile Row to get a suit, a pinstripe suit. So I said to him, why do you need to go to Savile Row, Vaughan? I can make you a pinstripe suit. Oh no, he said, I want a proper suit. Well, I've never forgotten that. So he went to Savile Row, had measured, taken in the January. August he got the suit after like 20 fittings. Anyway, he got the suit, came into my studio and said, Dad, I've got my suit, what do you think? I said, well, put it on and I'll tell you. Well, I've got a real fetish for everything having to match, all the stripes on the shoulders, on the welts, on the pocket. So he put this suit on, and I said, well, it fits you quite nicely, but then it should do after 8 months. I said, but it's just a pity about the stripes, isn't it? He said, what do you mean about the stripes? So I said, well, if you look on the shoulder, they don't match. Well, that was 26 years ago, and in those days, he paid $3,000 for that suit. Well, they start at $8,000 now. and he never wore that suit.
Well,
and I wanted to say to him, well, Vaughan, you wanted a proper suit, you got a proper Savile Row suit, it's not a Brian Piccolo suit and the stripes don't match.
Have you ever had your own brand label?
I have got my own.
You
label.
do?
Yes,
so we can have a unique Brian Piccolo.
Completely.
Is it the Brian Piccolo? Is it Piccolo?
Brian Piccolo Couture.
I mean, it's very special.
Every garment has a Brian Piccolo Couture. And every garment is individual to that person. So never ever two of my garments in the world, ever.
And that's really nice. You know, because you see loads of people even on the red carpet and they show up with the same things,
Well,
which you think, bless them.
I think this is one of the reasons I got, you know, in the past lots of film stars came to me, because when they go to these red carpet do's, in fact I've just done a big red carpet do for a man, and I never made men's clothes in the UK, but in Spain all the entertainers, all the men, they want Brian Piccolo jackets and trousers. So in fact I've just done this, an upcoming star, and it's for the red carpet in New York, so I'm absolutely thrilled.
I'm delighted for you and I'm delighted for them. Is that the style that you like, is when you design and make, is it glamour that you have in mind?
I always look at the person. Like, I can look at you now and tell you exactly what I would make you, Nicole.
Okay, what would you...
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh,
because
okay, it's
it's
to be
a surprise.
okay.
Surprise, yeah. So when you have it made, you can either say, Brian, I hate it, or I love it.
Well, I can't imagine saying I hate it. You always look impeccably dressed.
Thank you.
You have amazing style. I love your sense of colour.
Thank
and I love that you like colour. You embrace colour. You also embrace people. You embrace charity. And you sing. Since when have you sung? Is this a new thing in Spain, or is it something you've always dabbled in?
I was the child soprano and didn't sing when my voice broke, never sang, and I got married, had 2 sons, and all that time I never ever sang. And I was over here and I was at El Chaparral one Sunday and I got invited to sing by the guitarist who became my guitarist after that, and then recorded my CDs, which was wonderful. And it just went from there, from all over. I sing all over, everywhere now.
Do you enjoy it? You must
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It gets you out the house, you get to meet lots of people, and singing is very healing, isn't it?
It is. And also, if I can sort of do a charity show, I've recently done a big charity fashion show and raised lots of money for Alzheimer's. And that's one of my sort of charities near to my heart, because my mother had Alzheimer's. So whatever I can do to help them, we all take, don't we, from this world.
Yeah.
But it's just so lovely to give.
Yeah, I
something.
saw that for the charity, so many that you support, that you offered to actually let the winner choose a fabric, make them a dress. I mean, you're very generous with your time in many respects.
Well, I like people to buy a ticket. They can buy as many as they want. It's all sealed when they buy it. It's all sealed with their name and telephone number. And they pay €10 per ticket. So potentially they could get like a €5,000 garment for €10.
For €10.
And that does happen. People buy one ticket. I did a show at Salon Varieties Theatre in Fuengirola last year. And that night I gave 2 prizes. And one of the men I knew quite well. And he had a suit made for his step-grandson's wedding, which he was over the moon, absolutely over the moon.
Well, wonderful. Delighted to finally get it together. Sorry it took so long.
Thank you,
just
Nicole.
that before the summer really hits in, it's like I have to get Brian on the programme.
Thank you.
Then we can catch up again. I'm sure you'll be doing a lot of charity things and more things, and to talk about this wonderful dress that I'm going to.
You're going to,
Good,
and you
I'm
can wear it
excited.
on the show, can't you?
Definitely.
Wonderful.
I have to organise a special party and to launch it or something. Make a big event. Brian, thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Thank
what
you
a
so
pleasure.
much. Thank you.
Brian Piccolo, yay!
Thank you.
At
Thank
last,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
In my experience, Linea Directa is superb when it comes to insurance, particularly for expats. I have met the dedicated English-speaking team that answers our phone calls. Real people with real families who take pride in providing the best service. Whether it's for home insurance, car, motorbike, they will ensure you get the policy best suited to you. They've also got new policies, especially for our pets and anti-squatter. Everything is in English, everyone is friendly, and everyone is truly doing their best for us. Call 952 14 78 34 or go to their website lineadirector.com for further details.
Have you heard of Zero Hero? Well, I'll tell you. Zero Hero is a community initiative that rewards designated drivers with free soft drinks. Every single one of our venues gets special branding, including this sticker which has a QR code which will lead you straight to our website. The Zero Hero project is in collaboration with the Línea Directa Road Safety Foundation. So whether you're a customer who goes to wonderful restaurants or a restaurant who serves wonderful people, this is definitely something for you. Go to our zerohero.es website to find out more.
Sometimes there are numbers that shape your life. Thousands of minutes putting in your contact lenses, hundreds of blurred memories, and many lost pairs of glasses. But there are also numbers that give you confidence. For more than 30 years at Baviera, we have performed 1 million treatments, 1 million reasons for a life without glasses. Baviera Ophthalmology Clinic.
Delighted to welcome to the programme now a young man named Matias, and he is from a company called Restaurant Broker Spain. Brokers of restaurants in Spain. Very cool. The first broker I've had on the programme. Matias, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm very impressed with you already because you speak some Spanish. I don't know how much, but I see that you do speak some.
Yeah, already I don't know because I've been living here 10 years. So it has been a while, so I have been training.
Well, there have been Brits that have lived here for 40 years and don't say anything except mantequilla.
It's true.
So you're doing very well. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Sweden. So I have also a company in Sweden that works with restaurant as well.
And this is what you've always done? You buy and help buy and sell restaurants?
Actually, I come from a family that have had restaurant whole my life. So I have been working in a restaurant from I was a little child. But then my father wanted me to take over his restaurant, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be a police officer. So I became a police officer actually in Sweden. But as a police officer, I started to work with restaurants that had problems and nightclubs. And so I worked with supervision and talked with the owner of the restaurants, and then I started to educate other police officers in how to do supervision of a restaurant. And then I understand that we need to help the restaurateurs before they do something wrong. And it was during that time I started my Swedish company that is called Krogarna. It's restaurants in Swedish.
Krogarna?
Krogarna. Yeah, it was in this company I started to help a lot of restaurateurs in the whole Sweden, and today we have 14,000 clients in Sweden.
It's absolutely impressive the way that it shows you your whole life has brought you to this point, because you know the inside and out and every aspect of a restaurant. Yeah. And when people are going to buy it, to know how safe it is, the area, what to look out for, where the downfalls can be. I mean, you really have quite unique information. You are a specialist in your field.
Yeah, you can say that. And then I moved to Spain for 10 years ago, but I worked remotely with my Swedish company. But then a lot of my clients in Sweden, they are entrepreneurs. So they like to invest in businesses and in restaurant, and like to buy and sell restaurants. And they knew that I lived here. So they wanted me to help them to find a restaurant for them and to find a good investment. So I started to do that on the side for my clients in Sweden. And then for a year ago, I started Restaurant Broker Spain. So now it's a lot of bigger concept here in Spain. So we will help a lot of more foreigners and other Spanish people as well to buy and sell their restaurant.
And also you're opening up the market considerably for them because you already have existing buyers from your own market back home.
Exactly. So we have a big network already with Nordic investors and buyers, but already now we have a lot of other investors as well, and we can help them with more than buy a restaurant. We can help them with national identification numbers, we can help them with companies, and we can suggest what they need to do if they move to Spain and want to open a business.
So you're covering the whole aspect.
Yeah.
You want to move here, there's the business to buy, this is how you set up your work permits, how you get your staff, how you...
Yes, and the most important, we do the due diligence before we show the restaurant for a potential buyer. We have done a small due diligence to see that restaurant has the licenses they say they have, because sometimes they say that they have a lot of licenses, but they don't have.
No, I can think of many that have had no music license, but the day the buyers come, they have music on.
Exactly.
No, I mean,
and they have a lot of bigger outdoor space
yes.
and stuff like that, so it's super normal. So you need to do a background check, super careful, and that is what we are doing.
I'm delighted because it's a cowboy world. I think a lot of people think coming to Spain, they'll open a bar and a restaurant and it's going to be so easy, and they don't realise how much work it is, how demanding it is to employ staff. Therefore, you end up working yourself 24. There is a lot to take into consideration, and where you're buying it, that there's parking and permits.
Yeah, so you need to do a really good background check before you're buying anything, and then you need to see the area. What do you have to compete with here in the area? Is it a lot of tourists or is it local people? So you need to do your background check before you invest in a business.
And the predominant nationality in Marbella
exactly,
as well.
Yeah,
you could open up a Swedish restaurant in the middle of England and they're not interested.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, they probably would be, because we like trying different food, but it is very important to see where you go. Well, I'm really delighted for you.
Yeah.
And any messages you want to give to our viewers in particular? I suppose just if you were buying or selling a restaurant.
Yeah, come
Restaurant
to us.
Broker Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Come to us and talk with us before, because you don't need to buy a restaurant or sell a restaurant right now. Maybe you just want to ask some question, how does it work in Spain and so on. So they are welcome to contact us and we will answer the question.
It's funny because when you started at the beginning saying about how your father wanted you to take over the restaurant and you didn't want to, and I imagine because you saw how slave it is to work in a restaurant, the hours, the dedication, sacrificing family, festivities. And it's funny how many local businesses in Marbella now have that same situation. So if it's one of you, then this guy exists. If you have a restaurant that you would like to get rid of because your kids aren't interested, which I know there are muchos. Si tenéis un restaurante y los niños no quieren seguir en tus pasos, este señor puede ser de vuestro interés también. So really, I think, an interesting support, as opposed to just going out there and putting it for sale. You've got someone who knows what they're doing, actively selling your business.
And also, after the sale, we just doesn't, say buy and then we go. We will help the buyer, to set up the team and to find the good suppliers and get all their help they need. So we will be there all the time because this is our niche. Here in Spain, our niche is restaurants, and we will make sure that they follow the rules, and it's easy to follow the rules and find a good cooperation with providers of different supplements. So.
Fabulous. Well, really lovely to meet you, Matias. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for joining us to find out what's been going on behind the scenes in our fabulous city. You can go to rtvmarbella.tv website that will give you a link to the programme or directly to their YouTube channel, which is Radio Televisión Marbella, and check out English edition. You can go to my website, nicoleking.es, for links to the programme, also to my Marbella Moments column in the Euro Weekly News, and our Zero Hero website, listing an ever-increasing number of restaurants, bars and hotels rewarding the designated driver. Stay safe out there, have yourself a super summer, and see you soon. Bye for now.